Hello, welcome aboard this Hallberg-Rassy 342 ALANDOLI. ALANDOLI was built and completed in 2010 by the famous Swedish yard over in Elos, and she's for sale here on the Hamble River by her second owners. ALANDOLI is being used for coastal sailing and short trips around the Channel, north coast of France and the West Country in the UK. Being 2010 build boat, ALANDOLI has the advantage of a bonded teak deck here. The teak deck on ALANDOLI is in perfect condition. There are no raised caulkings and benefited from a light service a few years ago. She has on the foredeck here, large opening anchor locker, plenty of room for fenders storage and deck storage. I'll just open it up for you. It's very deep there. There's an additional shelf which allows you to store items without obstructing the chain. The anchor chain here is controlled by electric windlass with the foot buttons up and down. Stainless steel cleats, very strong on the foredeck, with a 200S Furlex handling the head sail. She has two Elstrom sails which were supplied with the boat in 2010. Recently has a storm jib added for use with the forestay. There's a nice new Dolphin Sails stack pack there you might have just seen. It's interesting, it has an integrated sun awning as well. There's pictures of that on the website. Fruno radar scanner on the double spreader rig from Selden. Sweatback spreaders, fractional setup makes this a really good upwind sailor. Lots of power in the mainsail. All the lines come aft to the cockpit. You can see them on the deck here. Each side of this big opening hatch. Lots of light down below, which we'll see soon. The hatches, port lights on the side decks here, these are opening also. It's a very bright, breezy place down below if you choose it to be. Side deck's great. We're walking between the shrouds now. Access is really easy with the grab rails on the windscreen and the coach roof. We come right back down the starboard side to the cockpit, past the windscreen and the canvas spray hood to the wheel steering. 342, emphasis on performance from Hallberg-Rassy and German Freyr's designer. There's a really full width traveller there for the main sheet for those, and a adjustable backstay as well. Plenty of tweaking to be done on the mainsail if you choose to. This cockpit area is also enclosed with the canvas spray hood extension, making this space usable in any weather conditions. Obviously you can't sail with that up. There's a large cockpit table in the cockpit locker, and here we have the instrumentation from Fruno. A large chart plotter here. Speed, wind and depth over the companionway. The 12-volt socket as well, and the lines are all controlled by spin locks and 16 Lumar 16 stainless steel self-tailing winches. There's a really big cockpit locker here, which if we open up is the lion's share. Plenty of room for fenders in here. And there's also the holding tank, stainless steel, and bespoke boxes there, which for the companionway doors, the washboards. The steering pedestal has a large silver steering compass, beautifully covered in hide steering wheels, hide steering wheel cover there, and easily to hand. On this side we have the engine controls. I think she has approximately 450 hours at the time of this video, and under here is the Autopilot, installed in 2018, and there is a RAM directly onto the quadrant below decks. Again, pictures on the website. Here we are down below on ALANDOLI, Hallberg-Rassy 342. This is the main saloon area. Quick whiz around. We've got a galley on the port side, L-shaped settee across from a normal settee. There's a folding leaf table in the centre, plenty of bottle storage, and the chart table is here on the starboard side, just forward of the door to the head compartment, which we'll look at again in a moment. This is all beautifully finished, as you expect, in mahogany with vertical grains. All the grains are matching. The condition of the woodwork is excellent throughout. There's a large opening hatch on the deck here, and of course, as mentioned when I was videoing the deck, you've got opening hatches, port lights here as well. Grab rails on both sides of the saloon, mean coming up forward to the forward cabin is really easy. This is probably the better of the two cabins. It's very light. There's lots of standing room here. It's low enough and wide enough to get in and out of very easily. You've got a vanity area here on the port side, little shelf and plenty of stowage. Again, you've got these cave lockers and closed lockers. The anchor windlass motor is behind the double doors that you can see in the video, in the picture now. Out of the elements, there's pictures on the website. Swinging around to the starboard side, and there's it's an enormous hanging locker here before you get to heating at ground level, heating outlet, and a 220 volt outlet. We can see, looking back now towards the companionway, you can see the standing room throughout on the 342. These steps coming down are very easy to navigate. They've got plenty of room for your feet, and a nice shallow angle coming down. Grab rails, of course, either side of the opening. Both settees turn into pilot berths, if you like. That's really useful for additional visitors or crew, or if you just want to sleep while your crew are on watch, you can be right here in amongst the action. There's a little reading lamp. You can see on the knees here, this is the bar supporting the inner shrouds and the outer shrouds, all very strong, all looks really well installed, nice and clean. There's a trotter box here on the starboard side settee, makes it a little bit longer, easily over 6 feet, and the port side berth just as wide, but maybe a shade shorter. The galley area here is very functional, has a double stainless steel sink, hot and cold water as you expect. This little table comes out to extend the working surface, and it's all surrounded by nice, beautifully varnished fiddles. Top opening 12 volt fridge there with baskets to help organisation. There's overhead lighting, so you can see what you're doing, and the cooker also has a lid which can extend the work area. It's a 2-burner gas oven from Eno. There's plenty of storage and shelves. There's also a chopping board that comes out like this. Here we have the aft cabin. This is the larger of the berths, very wide, very long. We have the additional opening hatch installed here, which makes this just a little bit brighter. There's reading lamps on both sides, storage, and another hanging locker as you come in. And try and get the camera to show you that it's really, big enough for all your hang up your oilies and clothes and things. Underneath this bunk, it's ventilated, and you can see there's heating. Again, a 220 volt outlet. The battery charger, Master Volt battery charger, is whirring away in there. The engine battery, which was renewed in 2019, is also in that vicinity. Just whiz across now to the heads compartment. This is really great location at the bottom of the companionway steps. It's also not next to either cabin, which just makes it a bit quieter when you're using it, especially at night. You can see on the bulkhead there the seacock, the handles for the holding tank. She's got the stainless steel holding tank. It's a standard Jabsco manual toilet. Another heater outlet in the heads, really great place to dry wet oilies. Shower grating under there, sump pump will pump any shower waste overboard. Hot and cold mister tap, nice lighting, storage, and a sink. This is probably the best place for your wet locker. Easily accessible on your up and down on deck, and 2 opening hatches in the heads compartment. Lastly, we'll look at the chart table area here. All the wiring, which I've taken a picture of on the website, is behind this drop down door. She benefits from the Empire bus system, and very few switches. You've got the fridge, the instruments, and the pump. Heating, Webasto heating here, battery monitor, the Furuno log, light switches, another 220-volt outlet, VHF radio, and a Navtex. This is forward facing, plenty of room for a folded chart and space for a captain or navigator to sit and work and think about where they're going. Let's give you a last sweep round of the saloon area. It's a really nice place to spend time. It doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. It's not nicely broken up by all the white panelling and curtains, which gives it a nice feel as well. And like I said, she's in first class condition. The 342, like all Hallberg-Rassys, has excellent access to the engines. Here are the steps here, which I've just unlocked these two locking mechanisms on the front. They lift up. They're supported by two hydraulic arms, you can see here. And once they're up, you're into this lovely, clean, heat and sound insulated area. The front of the engine, which is a Volvo Penta D130, is really accessible here. There's no problem getting to belts, pumps, checking your fluid levels as well. And you've got your water separator again right there. There's also the opportunity to look at the back of the engine. If we come out into the aft cabin, which I've dismantled earlier, you can see right over the sail drive here. The sail drive was renewed in 2018. There's the exhaust coming back, the fuel filters you can see. This is the shower pump there as well. Just want to draw your attention to the seacock there. A lot of these seacock, well, all the through-hole fittings were upgraded to bronze fittings in 2018. The engine was serviced in August 2020, which is the same month that I'm filming this video, when the boat's only just been relaunched with new antifoul, new anodes, service the engine, service the sail drive. All nice and clean in here. Like I say, really accessible. You've got an event there to remove air from this area, keep the temperature down.